In this video, we're going to look at the concept of the business plan and what it is and why it's important, of course, and the impact it has. There's not a lot written on the slides in this video clip that we'll be looking at, but we'll be doing some flipping over to a little bit different format and doing some writing on the screen to kind of fill in the cracks for you here. So let's start out by taking a look at what the business plan is. What it really is an explanation or an articulation of the long-term strategy of the organization, and it's typically accompanied with the financial statements, the balance sheet, the income statement, cash flow, and any additional financial statements necessary to explain what the plans are. So that can include costs, profit, financial goals, etc. Now, this plan is usually grouped by similar products or business segments or business divisions. And so when the business plan comes out of the strategic plan, it drives the tactical, the mid-range timeframes and the operational day-to-day plans of the rest of the organization. So looking at the next slide here, we built out some of the elements of the business plan because we really can't show you in the space we have here another company's business plan necessarily. But if you look at these elements, there's an explanation of what the business plan is, the executive summary, the high level verbiage of what the plan's trying to accomplish. The description of the company is helping inform what the company is about, what it does, the different products, the segments, etc. Now, with this business plan, we have an analysis of the market, so we have an understanding of what's going on in the marketplace, so that where we're going to be competing, we understand why, as well as showing you any products or services that we plan to offer based on the market analysis and what we've learned from it. We put in the marketing plan as well. Marketing, as you're familiar with, is all about educating their audience and helping build demand for the product. So we need to know what marketing's plan is for these products and services so we know what they're offered. And then we look at it also in terms of what's the logistics and operation plan is, because we have to build a supply chain that's going to support all this. So the folks that see the business plan, they need to know what's going to be planned both logistically and operationally. And then finally, of course, we've got all the financial plans that go with it. So let's flip over to another format for a sec here, real quick, so we can draw on the screen and jump back in a couple slides here. Let's look at, it's a one statement thing, certainly. Why is it important? And it's easy to say it bridges the strategy plan. But if you think about it, strategies, our mission, our vision, where are we going to play, how are we going to win, brief explanation of how we're going to get there. And the business plan takes that strategic plan and flips it over into financial numbers, and really so it helps everybody see what's going on in concrete terms, what we're trying to accomplish, and how we're going to get it done. So from an example standpoint, we can look at supply chain and logistics, and essentially that's what I wrote on the next bullet point here as a sense here. It's what we're going to be offering the customer, where we're going to offer it, and how we're going to offer it. So it allows a person in the supply chain function to set up the physical, the transactional channels necessary to meet the needs of the customer in a way they expect the product or service to be delivered. So we're kind of doing that. Who's going to do what? When are they going to do it? Where are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? And we're going to include the explanation of why, so that a person reading the business plan does understand why we're asking to do what we're going to do. From an impact standpoint then, what it does is it tells us all where north on the compass is, where are we going, and we know what direction, so we can organize how we're performing our work in such a way the activities are aligned with and supportive of the strategy. And I want to write that down, aligned with and supportive of the strategy, because that's what we're trying to accomplish here. We have all these tasks we do: scheduling, planning, sourcing, staffing, receiving, picking, packing, shipping. All of those tasks have to be aligned with and supportive of the strategy, so we're kind of all rowing the boat in the same direction. And that's why, from an impact standpoint, we start out with this statement on the next slide here. So, we're going into a company, we're asking different people at different levels of the organization, as well as different jobs in the company. And we're asking people, what are the guiding principles of the company? And can you tell where they are telling the same basic message? And better yet, we can see people perform their work in such a way it's, again, aligned with and supportive or in harmony with what we're trying to do. Because interesting enough, what we find out is very often, wouldn't surprise me if it's half the time, people are working hard, people are working smart, but it's not necessarily aligned with what we're accomplishing. So you could argue we're losing up to half of our labor dollars, direct and indirect, because we're not rowing the boat in the same direction. And that can be pretty costly to a company. So a business plan kind of helps us shape ourselves to move all in the same direction here.